What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Just Zoogal back again for another edition of Cinemania Fright Nights. Now, today's movie comes from a series which is a guilty pleasure of mine, but it's one that I've had a love-hate relationship with. So today's movie is Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. It's an interesting movie. I feel a little bit underrated to a degree, but let's just jump right into the review. Freddy Krueger returns once again to terrorize the dreams of the remaining Dream Warriors, as well as those of a young woman who may know the way to defeat him for good. Well, as we know from the rest of the series, they never defeated him for good. But it was an interesting story, I will say that. The plot, I felt, could have used some tweaks here and there, but considering the production time of this, I think this came out... Was it a year after Dream Warriors? And then I can't remember. I know they were rushed. Because when I was looking at the... I think it was when I watched Never Sleep Again, the Nightmare on Elm Street Legacy. And I think when Rennie Harlan was talking about the movie, he said they had a poster before anything was shot on the movie. I think that... I might be wrong about that, but very rushed production time. So I think they really just did what they could, threw it all together, and hoped it worked out for the best. But really, the story's not bad. There were, like I said, there were some tweaks that could have been done here and there, but it really wasn't all that bad. They give you the usual positives and negative things that I found. I love the idea of Alice absorbing her friend's power. It made things a little bit more interesting, and along the way she always picked up some characteristics of her friends. Like, I think it was when Kristen died, she started to light up a cigarette. She said, wait, I don't smoke. And, of course, when her brother dies, she all of a sudden knows karate. Go figure that one out. But it added an interesting twist to the movie. There's a ton of great shots in the movie, which there are... little things, like even at the end where, you know, they have the reflection of Freddy and the wishing well, the scene where Alice is in the movie theater. I mean, just a ton of great shots in this movie. Most of the characters were likable. The only ones I really couldn't get, like, interested to and invested in were her brother and her one friend, what I always refer to as like the female Urkel. And I'm not saying that because she's black, because she seemed like the Urkel character of the movie. I just couldn't get invested in those characters. In fact, in the case of the nerdy girl, I was rooting for her to die. But, yeah, most of the characters were likable. I love the idea that when Alice preps for the fight with Freddy, she finally finds herself, and what I mean by that is, in the beginning of the movie, she's putting all of these, well, she already has some of them, but she's putting pictures up on a mirror, and her brother says, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? I mean, you can't see yourself in the mirror. So as she is absorbing her friend's power and starting to gain a little bit more self-confidence, she's peeling away bits and pieces of this, and then she finally sees herself in the mirror. And I think that's really saying a big statement about the movie. I mean, it's like you're seeing this character finally mature. So it was a good addition to the movie, I felt. Robert Englund, once again, was great. And, you know, as always, I mean, from the first Nightmare on Elm Street all the way up till Freddy versus Jason, you could never fault Robert Englund. I mean, he always seemed like he was giving 110%, and he always brought the character to life, so he was always good with the role. Now for the negatives. I hated that they brought back Kincaid, Joey, and Kristen, only to kill them off. You bring back the most, well, not really the most likable characters in the case of Joey, but you bring back Kincaid, who really was a fan favorite from Dream Warriors, and then you kill him off. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. If Freddy's main goal is to kill the last of the Elm Street kids, then it's like a third of the way into the movie. He's already done that, so what's the point with the rest of it? So, I don't know. But I really hated to see Kincaid go. He was a favorite of mine. Some of the scenes felt thrown together. Like I said, that could be attributed to the production time that they had on this. It certainly was rushed. A lot of the things in the film make no sense, such as Joey being in the waterbed. I mean, when he's killed, Freddy comes up and drags him into the waterbed. Okay, that works. Then his mother finds him actually in the waterbed. Like, how the hell did he get in there? It makes no sense. And also, I believe it's when Alice wakes up from a dream, all the windows in her classroom just explode. Like, what the hell's the explanation for that? But overall, it's a solid addition to the Nightmare series. It's probably the last good Nightmare movie. I mean, was it 5 and 6? If you really want to see good Nightmare on Elm Street movies, just 1 through 4. 5 and 6 are completely passable, in my opinion. And I don't count Wes Craven's New Nightmare or Freddy vs. Jason as part of the series, but I say this is the last of the good Nightmare movies. This had good Nightmare scenes, without going too over the top, as you'll see in Part 5 and 6. They were way, way over the top, and it was ridiculous. And as for a rating, I'd probably give this one a solid 7 out of 10, so if you're looking for some fun slasher movies to watch, you might want to check out Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it is pretty damn good. So, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys with the next one.